Okay, hi. This is my second time recording this. I don't know what happened the first time. It was like there was no sound. It's like, but like basically, I was trying to say in the original recording that had no audio for whatever reason. How it was like I was thinking about how I need to like hold on to myself and like just pull me closer to myself physically in order to regain myself spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, like connect back to just my center, to just me in general. I wrote about it in my journal, but like I didn't go further in depth with it. I just did like a short verse and then I closed it because that's all I felt like giving at that time. A lot was going on for me, but that's what I felt like giving at that time. And I mean, it wasn't a lot like in a bad sense. It was just like, yeah. But earlier this morning, earlier in this day, it was like I was thinking a lot about like different things. I was spiraling in thought of just like different possibilities, different situations, different point of views of the same situation. It was just a lot of thought, a lot of spiraling into just thought. Some of which was just, yeah, I mean, we already know what it was about. I'm not gonna go too much in depth with it, but like it was basically just like I was thinking a lot about how I felt as though I will not find love in my lifetime, which is like a deep desire I have. Like I desire that, like that's one of the main things I want in life, is to be loved fully and to love someone else and something else fully without feeling the bounds and pressures of anything else, just to freely love and be loved to its fullest degree, like, you know, just. And I was thinking about how like that might not ever come in my lifetime. Like realistically, I might not actually get that, but like I have hope that one day that will come, because I feel as though I deserve that, you know. And so like I was just spiraling in this loop of like different things, different conversations with different people, conversations with him, conversations with the possible someone else, conversations with old friends, like, you know, I was just spiraling into thought of like just different things, different possibilities, different conversations, and I just felt really, I was losing it, right? I was feeling really just as though I was stretching, and at times like that, I just feel like I have to really hold on to myself, and I breathe. I breathed in 5 seconds, held, breathe out 5 seconds, release. I just try to really hold on, because I feel as though like I could fall apart at any moment. But like when I hold on to myself, it's more of like a security. It's like I'm trying to regain myself, my structure, just me in general. Because without that, I feel like if I don't hold on to myself, then I'm gonna crack open. I'm going to split. I'm going to spill out. Like the seams of me are going to unravel. I'm going to let everything out. A lot of emotion, a lot of negative emotion, a lot of just everything. It'll always be an overflow, because earlier today, like this rising, I felt overwhelmed with emotion. Like not as soon as I woke up, but like later on when I started settling with all of those thoughts, I was becoming more overwhelmed with emotion. I was becoming more uncontrolled. And so I just had to hold on to myself. I did cry a little, but like it's good to let that emotion release. I didn't have a whole breakdown. I just let that emotion release, and I tried to regain my center, my comfort. I tried to regain me. And I was thinking, I was laying down, I was staring up at the ceiling after I calmed down, after I kind of controlled myself a little bit. And I was thinking of how when I hold on to myself, it's as though I'm trying to get back to a structure. I'm trying to get back to my center. And I can feel that sense of security. But it's also that I was thinking about like how if someone else held me, if someone else hugged me, tried to comfort me, at times that can be beneficial for me, at times that can help, but other times I can completely unravel within the arms of that person. I can completely release everything. I can fall apart instantly. And I know a lot of people have good intentions when they check up on you and try to comfort you, but at times, for me, at least in my personal experience, it can do more damage, because when I'm trying to center myself, I'm trying to regain a sense of self. But when someone else comes in, I'm not gonna say intervenes, but like when someone else comes in, it's like I start thinking about those other parts again, and I start spiraling about them again, and I unravel within the arms of that person, within the presence, within the attempted comfort of that person. I completely unravel and everything spills out again. And I'm struggling to compose myself because it's out, it's open. Even if I'm being hugged and held tightly, it's always the feeling that I crack open and I'm slipping and I'm falling and I explode. You know, it's just that thing of like, the comfort of another person can really help me, and it can help kind of just regain like this sense of security at times, but other times it's also a reminder that, like, these things are going on, and I start thinking about those things, and it's overwhelmed. It's a lot of overwhelm, a lot of emotion, a lot of just conflict within myself. And instead of me being whole, instead of me having that comfort from another to kind of regain my sense of self, it's more of like, I can't trust these things are happening. And it's a bit of self-pity, it's a bit of like, I'm falling apart. It's a reminder that I am falling apart and I need somebody else to come in. And that's like one of those things where it can be really damaging. And like, it just keeps me stuck in this constant self-pity, overwhelm, overthinking, like spiraling mindset. But in contrast to that, when I'm holding on to myself and I'm trying to regain myself with only me, I remind myself, like, I'm not ignoring the things that I'm like having issues with. It's just more of a reminder. It's more of confirmation. It's more of comfort. It's more of me trying to keep myself together, and not, instead of just ignoring it, it's like I'm accepting it, but I'm working through that within myself. There's no self-pity because I'm not sorry for me. I'm just acknowledging what happened. I acknowledge the emotion. I acknowledge my overwhelm. And I acknowledge that sometimes I do spiral and I overthink. But instead of me continue to do that while holding someone else, I hold on to myself so I can try to recenter myself. I'm holding on to me physically, so my mind, so my emotions, so my spirit, my soul, whatever, can be recentered, can try to, like, it's a visual representation of what I'm trying to achieve, basically. Like, visually, I'm holding my shoulders, I'm holding me, while in my spirit, in my emotion, in my mind, I'm trying to just come closer to my center instead of losing it, instead of going wider and wider, stretched out, more spread out, and losing it. I try to regain my center. Kind of like when you're on the pottery wheel and you're trying to keep the vessel stable. So you go up and like you make it smaller at times, but you don't want to make it too small because it could close in. So like, you do open it up some. You try to make it wider. However, if it's too wide, it will fold on itself. So it's like you have to keep it as stable. It's a lot of work that goes into it, but like you have to keep it stable and try to, like, as you go up and you are pulling it to go wider, it's like you're still working to try to stabilize it. You're still working to try to have it to a set structure so it doesn't fold in on itself or crumble and like won't flop out, and it won't go in too much to the point that it still folds. You want it to be stable. You want it to be structured. You know? But like, those are just some of the thoughts that I was having. Yeah, it's just working through yourself, working through those wounds, working through past traumas and more recent traumas. It's like, I'm trying. And that's all anyone honestly can do. It's a lot, but all you have to do is actually try. Instead of just saying that you are, but giving yourself excuses and gray areas and just acting as though you're not. Like, you know, instead of that self-pity, but like actually trying. It's different. Yeah. I was gonna paint my nails, my toenails, because we're gonna go to Panama. Yeah, we're gonna go to the beach, so I want to go ahead and do that before we go. But yeah, that's about all. Bye bye.